Cool. So, we're just back from lunch. We have looked at the first 2 key elements of the 5 key elements. We've looked at choreography and we have looked at technique as well. All right. So we're starting to move into coaching, the 3rd key element, and specifically we'll be looking at layer 1, coaching in this part. Okay. So if you look at our objectives here of this section, the first thing that we're going to do is explain coaching layer 1 and get a deeper understanding of what that is, so that you can then use that and apply it in your own presentations. Okay? And then to write and practice your layer 1 scripts. So you will get some time once we've looked at this part to then go and apply that knowledge to your track that you're going to do today and tomorrow. Okay, the assessment of this track for layer 1, okay? We'll be looking to see that you can demonstrate the track introduction, okay? Do you remember we looked at that part in the choreography notes? And it was the part with the information about the track, yeah? The track introduction, the position setup and how we actually set the movement up for your track, the execution setup, and then any compulsory cues that we need to share, okay, with the members. So those compulsory cues, again, they are those ones that are in bold, and we're going to look into those a bit more as well in this section. So the coaching model, okay, if you look here, you can see, and also on the PowerPoint there, we've got 3 overall layers of coaching. So we've got layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3, okay? And at the moment, all we're concentrating on is that very first layer, okay? And this is the only layer that you will be required to do over the course of this weekend, okay? For your track assessments. And then once you leave, you'll do the same, you'll apply it for all of your other tracks, and then you'll start to add in that layer 2 for your filming. But this weekend, it's just that layer 1 that we're looking at, okay? So again, the layer 1 includes your track introduction, the position setup, and the execution setup. Now, something that's really easy here, and I don't know if you've realised, but you now, because you've done the technique section, you actually already know most of the information that you need for layer 1, yeah? Because we went through all of the position and execution setup in the technique, yeah? And you were able to shout out the position and execution for these. So what you're now doing is taking all of that knowledge of technique and movement, you're taking all of it and you're putting it into words, okay? So you're putting it into words for your layer 1 coaching. So you're doing it and you're saying it with the coaching, okay? Layer 2, just to touch on this area, okay, in layer 2, we seek to improve the execution. So we want to help people move better, okay? We say things, coaching cues that help people move better, and you'll learn more about layer 2 later this afternoon, okay, when we touch on that. Manipulating intensity. So when people are getting tired, like, what do we say? What cues do we give them that is going to help them increase the intensity and help them drive through the track? And then we educate, okay? We give them the education and the why behind what they're doing, okay? It's not just a case of do this, we're saying why, okay? And the benefit that they're actually going to get out of doing those exercises. And then finally, layer 3, okay, is the layer where we motivate and drive, okay? We motivate, we drive, we push to the finish line to get people through. We take them to a place that they can't take themselves, okay? That's our role as a body pump instructor. That's why we're so special as body pump instructors, because we give them an experience that they can't get out there on the gym floor, yeah? come to body pump. Okay, you're going to motivate, you're going to drive, you're going to get them through it, you're going to work every muscle group in an hour, 55 minutes. Compared to being in the gym, not really knowing what you're doing, and not really working that hard because you don't really know what you're doing. Yeah? So, that is our 3 layers. Okay? So, we can't move on to layer 2 before we set up our layer 1. We must set up the basics. Okay? Then we can move into layer 2. Then we motivate and drive to the finish. Would we start with layer 3, motivate and drive? Come on, let's go! No, we wouldn't start with that. Okay? So we always set everything up nicely, and then it's like we flow into that. Alright? Okay, so only concentrating on layer 1. Okay, we're going to look at track introduction, position setup, and execution setup. We're going to do a worked example of this together, okay, for this track. So your track introduction will include these elements: the muscle group, the weight selection, the track focus. You might demonstrate complex or new exercises, okay? And then any options that are available, you might do, okay? Now when you do this part, you're using exactly what is in your choreography notes, okay? If it says demonstrate, you demonstrate. It will be bolded, okay? And it will have the movement that it wants to show you. In this release, there's not any demos, okay? So you're pretty lucky for this release. So you don't demo, okay? The demonstrations, they would be in your track introduction, so you would actually show how to do it, okay? For example, a lunge, okay? If it says demonstrate lunge position, you would demonstrate that lunge position. If it doesn't say anything, do you demo? No, okay? You just move on. You say what you're going to say, there's no demo, okay? So that is your track introduction. So we're going to use the squat track for this, okay? So open your notes. You can use your notes for this, okay? And let's use the squat track. Now, when we say our track introduction and position setup, we want to be able to say this, okay, within 30 to 45 seconds, okay? So that's when we want to be able to say this, because if you think about how fast the class moves, you want to be able to say your track introduction and position setup in that 30 to 45 seconds, and then move into the track, okay? Because we want the class to remain 55 minutes, yeah? Not any longer than that. So let's aim for the 30 to 45 seconds. So muscle group in the squat track. What muscle group are we working?
Quads.
Okay, so we're working the quads. Glutes.
Hamstrings. Side glutes.
Okay.
No, it doesn't say. It just says posterior. Quads, gluteus maximus, side glutes, and posterior chain.
Okay,
Posterior chain.
I'm going to put PC, okay, posterior chain.
What's that?
So posterior chain is the back of your body, okay? So it's the muscles that are in the back of your body,
Okay.
and that's what they mean when they say posterior chain, okay? So yeah, quads, glutes, side glutes, and posterior chain. Weight selection for this,
Two regulars, 2 to 4 times the limit.
okay? Regulars would be 2 to 4 times. And then what about new people?
Double warm-up weight.
Okay, double the weight. What is the track focus? Now, you don't have to think up anything. The track focus is there. Normally what I do in my own choreography notes, if I've printed it out, I highlight the key words in there and I decide what I'm going to use from the track focus. Okay? So that you're not going to say, sometimes it's quite wordy, pick out the key words okay? And then that's what you would use for your track focus. So what keywords are there for the track focus?
The 3 different stances
Okay.
with the focus on timing and range.
So yeah, that's what you would say. You'd say our focus today in the squat track is to concentrate on those 3 different stances. We've got the mid, wide and wider stance. We're also going to work on our range in the squat and our precision of timing, okay? So that's what you would say for your track focus. Are there any complex or new moves to demonstrate for this track? No, okay? So yeah, if it doesn't say, then there's nothing to show, okay? And then, are there any options? Does it say options? No. Okay. So yeah, the only time that you might have an option in a squat track is if someone comes and says to you that if they've had an injury or something, that they can't use weight, okay? Or if they've hurt their shoulder, or if they've had something, some sort of surgery, then you would say. But that would be more of a conversation with that person and not so much, this is an option, okay? So just stick with what is there on your choreography notes, okay? So that's your actual track introduction. You say that, and then you would start to get your weights ready, okay? Then you start to get them into position. Bless you. So you start to get them into position. So the bar grip, what is the bar grip in squats? Overhands.
Overhand, I would say bend your knees, pick up your bars, clean the press on the leading part of your back.
Okay. Where's your hands?
Shoulder width?
It's an overhand
Grip.
grip, yeah.
Oh, overhand grip.
Okay, it's an overhand grip.
Yeah, I was confused there.
Sorry. Okay, and then the alignment of joints. Okay, so think about it. You put the bar up onto the meaty part of your back. Okay, that could go in your additional cues actually. Okay, bar onto the meaty part of your back. Then the alignment of the joints. Okay, so the bar is here. What are our joints doing? From the bottom up. The ankles are,
Turn out.
yeah, okay. So the feet are turned out, the ankles are slightly turned. Okay. What about the knees?
Soft. They're soft.
Yeah, so soft knees.
Soft.
Yeah, soft knees. Okay. Soft knees. Okay. And then what about the chest is up, chest is lifted. Okay, and what about your shoulder joints?
They're tight.
Okay, so you want to kind of have that
Back.
chest lifted and that slight tension in your back. You squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly. And then the muscle activation at this point, because you haven't actually moved yet. You're ready. You're in that position set up. You're telling them how to get set up. So we're here. What muscles are activated at this point? Okay. So the abs are engaged. Abdominal muscles. What else? We're here. Yeah. Okay, you've got the back muscles there. And then what else? Okay, so muscles, muscle activation.
When do we start moving?
Soon. Soon, it's coming.
Would you say your legs are your legs are tight?
Oh, we're in the position.
Okay, so what part of your legs might be
Quads.
switched on? Okay, you might have that slight tension in the quads, and then
Your
also,
butt
yeah,
is tight.
yeah, okay. So in the glutes and the quads, okay. because you haven't actually moved yet.
Right.
So they're ready, we've got the weight on the bar, abs are engaged, okay, and it's the tension in the quads and slightly in the glutes, okay? So that information together
A whole lot.
is your track introduction and the position setup, okay? So at the moment, what we're doing is we're taking all of the information, okay? So what I'm doing is giving you tools for your toolbox, okay? I'm giving you all these tools. It's like it's like you're a board, and I'm throwing lots of blue tack at the board, and I want to see what sticks. I want to see what sticks on the board and what doesn't. Okay, so think of everything that we're doing over the 2 days as tools, okay, for your toolbox. Some things you might use, some things you might not, okay? So this seems a lot of information, but once you actually get into the way of saying it, it'll just become second nature, okay? And you'll get shorter, and it'll be in body pump language, okay? Short and sharp. So what we're going to do now okay, I'm going to give you a chance for the first part of this, okay, is to go and write your track introduction and position setup for your track, okay? So that very first track that you're presenting this afternoon and tomorrow, script out your track introduction and the position setup, okay? Once you've done that, stand up and practice just somewhere on your own, okay? There's a difference between sitting saying it and standing up somewhere and saying it, because when you're a body pump instructor, you're going to have to stand, okay? So practice doing that, stand up and say it, and use that short, sharp body pump language, okay? So just take 6 minutes to do that now.